first one to have the privilege of interviewing Joe Biden when he came out of his basement for the first time. So I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and take a look at that interview. I really haven't watched the whole thing. So first thing I'll notice right off the rip is Joe Biden is wearing a damn mask in the camera. Why are you wearing a mask when you're on camera?
Joe?
I just don't get
As
it.
a matter of fact, watch me and my daughter.
Love of my life, the life of my love. She's a fan of yours.
Hi, how are you?
This is
How are
Ashley.
you? Good, how you doing?
You know the nickname she gave her father when she was growing up? She called me Joey B. So we may be related or something.
Yeah, Cardi B and Joey B. I'm a huge fan. I just wanted to say
Joey, how
hi.
you doing? I feel so crazy because I feel like I'm a little bit late. But Biden, let me tell you something. When you have kids my age, like the one my age, 2 years old, your schedule never go as planned. You know what I'm saying?
You're telling me? I got 4 kids, 5 grandkids. Come on.
He understands about kids. He knows about them touching his legs in pools.
I'm an expert. I understand about kids. The most important thing in the world. They come first.
Yes, definitely. Always. I can come first. Period.
Keep it that way.
So, Joe, I heard you got some questions for me.
Oh, I do have some questions for you. First of all, I want to congratulate you. The cover of I tell you, that's pretty good. That's pretty big time. Number 1, doesn't surprise me. You're on the cover. But number 2, thanks for your generosity dealing with people who are suffering from COVID.
You want to tell me how she wipes her butt with those nails? Because I don't really see how it's possible to do anything with those nails, let alone like try to wipe your butt with those are COVID nails. I mean, there's no way to cleanse those things. You're gonna get. She even touching her face right now in this steel frame I got here. She's touching right in here. She's gonna get some kind of disease.
Who would needlessly have died when they didn't have to, if we had taken the precautions we needed to. And thank you. You have a generous heart. You have a generous heart. And what I wanted to know was, tell me what's your main interest in terms of this election?
I have a whole list of things that I want and I wish and I desire for our next president to do for us. But first thing first, let me keep it a buck. I just want Trump out.
There's the truth of it. You just want Trump out. That's what everybody who's voting for Biden wants. They don't really like Biden. They just want Trump out.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like his mouth gets us in trouble so much. I don't want to be lied to.
Then you must not have liked Obama because he lied a lot. Remember him saying we could keep our doctors? Yeah, that didn't happen. He did bring on pre-existing conditions, which Trump wants to keep, which I agree with. Obama lied about things.
I don't want, we're dealing with a pandemic right now, right? And I just want answers. I want to know when this is over. I want to go back to my job. I want to be able to go outside. I want to be able not to feel like I'm trapped in my home. But I don't want somebody to lie to me and tell me that it's okay to go outside. It's okay not to wear a mask. That everything is going to be okay.
Like Pelosi did in the beginning when they were down in Chinatown saying, come on down to Chinatown. Don't worry about the virus. Everything's fine. Meanwhile, Trump had already shut down borders and been called a racist for it. You mean like that?
No, I want a timeline of when things are going to get better. I want a president to tell me what are the steps for us to get better besides, taking precautions like with our masks and quarantining. I need somebody to tell me this is going to be over when we find this cure. This is why it's taking so long.
So Trump devised a whole entire task force for this coronavirus pandemic. He got the best doctors that he could find and got this big plan together and gave meetings every day with the American people. And Biden would have done what different? What would Biden have done different besides not shut the borders down at the time Trump did? Because apparently that was too soon, except he didn't act soon enough. So if you had all these wonderful ideas, where were you?
Why other countries are doing better than ours when it comes to this pandemic. I need somebody to tell me the truth, the hardcore truth. And also, I of course want free Medicare. And this is why it's important to have free Medicare, because look what's happening right now. You see what? We should have been having Medicare for a long time. I of course think that we need free college education. That's second. And I want black people to stop getting killed. And no justice for it. I'm tired of it. I just want more stricter laws.
You mean like affirmative action, and you mean like the fact that even personally I have gotten grants and loans and scholarships based on the fact that I'm black? So there's stuff that exists just for black people. I don't believe there are any laws that exist against black people, but I could be wrong. I don't think so though. Not in America.
That is fair to black citizens, and it's fair for cops too. If you kill somebody that doesn't have a weapon on them, you to go to jail. You know what? If I kill somebody, I gotta go to jail. You gotta go to jail too.
We're supposed to be taking her seriously, right?
That's what I want. And it's so sad that a pandemic has to happen.
Those daggers on her hands, man, I just can't. I just can't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you're really confusing the people. Like, one day you're telling them that this is nothing, that people need to stop getting tested because they're gonna get it anyways. Next thing you know, you have a mask in your face, and you're really playing games not with us, not the woke. You're playing games with the people that support you. All of this has to happen. This crazy stuff that has to happen so they can open their eyes for the past 4 years.
Well, it doesn't have to happen. For example, in 2016, if 18 to 23 or 4-year-olds have voted in the same percentage as the rest of the population, we would have had Hillary Clinton, not him. The vote matters. That's why you keep talking to people about the need to vote. The vote matters. It matters a great deal. And so we got to look, the generation, your generation and the young millennials beyond that, they can own this. They can own this outcome.
We're going after the most vulnerable population. Sounds like the typical Democratic Party.
And they can own what happens in the next election. They are the ones that can change things dramatically if they show up and vote. Tell me what your fans most say to you when they communicate with you online. What are they most concerned about?
What do you want? You want money? You want free healthcare and free college and free all that? I mean, if you're broke enough, you can get free all that stuff. So, like, what do you want?
Free college education, free Medicare, especially now that, you know, people are just getting sick left to right. And that's why I keep telling people, because sometimes people have problems in their community. They just wonder, like, for example, a lot of after-school programs that I was growing up with, there's no after-school programs a lot anymore in my hood.
Not nowhere. My kids go to a school with an aftercare program, a very good one at that. And you know why they go to that? Because I up and moved them here specifically for the school, because it's a free country and I can do that. And because I'm black, didn't mean shit.
That's right.
And
Nowhere.
it's like people are just wondering why is that?
Because people don't want to pay the taxes for it. And that's why this whole thing about government's bad has been such a downer for the things that really matter to you and me. I was doing very well as a single dad when my wife and daughter got killed. And I had 2 boys that survived that accident. I didn't have the money to have someone take care of my kids.
You know, Joe Biden's like an old dude, you know? He's been through some shit in his life, losing a wife and a daughter, and he lost his son, Beau. He's been through some stuff. I don't discredit him in any way with his experience and everything like that. He's been in politics for 40 some years. Doesn't have much of a track record for it, but he's been there. But that shouldn't account for something. Putting your butt in a chair shouldn't account for making difference. The fact of the matter is, Joe, you haven't made much of a difference in your 40 some years. Now you want to come in and promise the world, and I just don't think we should believe you. And plus, you're like super old, dude. You should be retired. Like, if you were my grandfather, I'd be ticked off that you were being pawned through the Democrats like this, because really, when it comes down to it, I don't really believe that they think you're gonna win. I think they just thought you were a good throwaway candidate. Let's put this guy out there. And for an old guy who's suffering from dementia, most likely, that's a really wrong thing to do. So I don't know what your family's doing, letting you go through all of this very stressful process, and then being president is going to be even more stressful. I'm sorry, but I just don't think that you have the stamina for this job. I just really don't.
Thank God I had my sister, my brother, and my mother who helped me. My sister moved in with me when she and her husband. But look at all the people who don't have that kind of help.
And you want to know something? Talking to you, you know, I'm always so focused on Medicare and college education, and I never really thought about how important is childcare. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like nobody's more motivated than a mom. Nobody want to go and hustle out there and get that money for the kids. Once you become a mom, you changed completely. Your mindset changed completely. But it's like, how are you supposed to do that when you probably don't have a babysitter for your kid? And I'm like, fortunately for me, I'm able to, you know, I have my mom take care of my child. But a lot of people, like, it's like their mom cannot retire and take care of their kids. Like, their mom
Exactly
has to
right.
work too.
One of the things that I admire about you is you keep talking about what I call equity, just decency, fairness, treating people with respect. John Lewis used to say, the vote is the most powerful, non-violent tool you have.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm here, because we can't let your ass in office.
Use the power to change for the change you want by voting. Look, I'm a lot older than you, to state the obvious.
Yes, we see that. We see that all the time, Joe.
When I was in high school, what happened was we had the civil rights movement just being started. And what happened? Along came Bull Connor and his dogs. He thought he was going to drive a wooden stake into the heart of the civil rights movement. But when all those folks who never realized, never saw before what was happening in the South, they lived in places where there were very few black people, didn't know any black people.
He always likes to talk about how he didn't know any black people. And she's lost, by the way. She's totally drifting in this story. A lot of people do that, I've noticed. When he starts on his tangents, they just kind of nod off, and you can see it in her eyes. She's totally lost.
All of a sudden, they saw Bull Connor with dogs ripping off the clothes of black women, elderly women going to church, being knocked down with fire hoses and their skin being ripped off. All of a sudden, as Dr. King said, we had the second emancipation. We had the Voting Rights Act and we had the Civil Rights Act. It changed things because people said, oh my God, that's happening. I think I heard you say somewhere along the line what I've been saying. This cell phone has changed America. Because what happens now? We're at a point where some brave kid, 15 years old, can stand there and for a total of 8 minutes and 46 seconds take a photograph of a black man whose family I know and met with and understand and spent time with and watched him brutally murdered. Brutally murdered. And people around the world were saying, my God, it really happens? Because I'm not in a neighborhood like that. I don't come from a place. And now, guess what? They're demanding change.
Black people, we're not asking for sympathy. We're not asking for charity. We are just asking for equality.
We have equality.
We are asking for fairness, and we are asking for justice. That is all. I feel like everything that people are asking for is getting interpreted in a very different way. No, it's simple. We just want justice. That's all. We want justice. We want to feel like Americans. We want equality.
Treat me with respect.
99.999% of the people I have encountered in my life here in America have treated me with respect. I don't know what country these people are living in, but it isn't the one I live in.
Yes, with respect.
Respect. That's where I think you're seeing a real... Look, I have a friend who is a congressman in Mississippi, Benny Thompson, and a very well-known congressman, African-American. He called me 2 weeks ago. He said, Joe, I just came from a protest in Mississippi. He said, and I looked out there, and there was, I forget how many people. He said there was many white kids marching as black kids. This is Mississippi, Joe. Things are changing, Joe.
No, things done been changed.
The reason I'm so optimistic is because of your generation. You're the smartest, the best educated, the least prejudiced, and the most engaged generation in American history. And you're going to change things. You're going to change them. You're the reason I have such incredible hope. I really mean it. I'm not being trying to be nice. It's a fact. That's what's going to change things. The rest of the world's always looked to us. Why have they looked to us?
Probably because we're like super racist and awful.
Not because we're so powerful, but the power of our example.
Exactly, because we're the land of the free, the home of the brave. This is where people come to succeed. This is where people come to have the American dream. There's nothing wrong with our country. Stop creating division and racism. Things are going down instead of up. You're creating a divide where there was not one before. You guys need to stop
What
it.
you're seeing now with this president, he's literally promoting hatred, promoting prejudice, promoting racism.
I want an example. I need an example because they always say that Trump's so divisive. Hell, they tried to say his RNC speech was divisive. There was not a single thing that I could find in that speech that was divisive. But I already knew. I went straight to Don Lemon, he's going to let me know how horrible it was, and he's going to translate it to me to show me what exactly Trump meant by I love this country and I just want to create jobs for its people and I just want to secure the borders. I just want our people to be safe. He's gonna translate that for me though later into something negative that it meant, and I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna just eat it up, right, Don?
Talking about protecting the Confederate flag when Mississippi takes it off their flag and he's defending it?
No, it's about not trying to erase our past. Believe it or not, Joe, there are some people in this country that like the Confederate flag, and not for any racist reason, but that it just stands for our country's history and the South. And that is something that they're proud of, their Southern heritage. It has nothing to do with their Southern heritage that owned slaves. It has nothing to do with that part of their heritage. But the other parts of their heritage that they are proud of, they should be able to represent freely in the land of the free.
He's talking about stats. I mean, what this is all about. All about the game of making people hate each other, because that's how he wins, by dividing us.
No, Trump supports us all doing whatever the hell we want to do within our own right, okay? Trump supports if somebody wants to wave that Confederate flag, but he also supports your right to be offended by it if that's what you want. You don't have to look at the flag. You can keep on driving by and make sure you don't buy one for yourself. Trump just supports freedom. He supports the American freedom, the American way, okay? And that is why he's our president, whether you like it or not. And that is the difference between the Republican ticket and the Democratic ticket this year. The Republicans want freedom. That is all that we want. We just want to be left the hell alone. We want our rights left alone. We want our homes and our communities left alone, and we don't want to mistreat anybody. And then over on the tolerable left, we have them infiltrating the Democratic Party and demanding that we do things that we don't even know what they want, really. I don't even know what will ever stop them. Getting Trump out of office, is that what will make you stop throwing a big hissy fit if Trump's not your president anymore? Because guess what? You're just fueling the fire of his party right now. You guys are just, with every fire you set, you are fueling the fire of the Republican Party to get out and vote our president right back into office. So keep on going. Keep on going with your riots and your protests and your looting, your calling of racism to people who are not racist. Go ahead, keep on going, because you are fueling the fire of the American spirit, and we are going to vote Trump back into office in 2020. You watch.
You're going to change it. Your generation is changing. You already are doing it.
The new generation, my fans, my people, it's like, this is why we have to go out and vote. I know that the young generation right now, with social media, we are just so eager to make money, to look a certain type of way, to have style, celebrity gossip. And it's like, why don't we make a change for real and just vote?
In the primaries, they kept saying, well, you know, there's not that many people voting. Biden's not going to excite anybody. We had the largest turnout in the primaries ever.
Biden's a pathological liar, by the way. This is probably an untrue statement. I'll have to look it up. I highly doubt that he had the largest turnout ever. Yeah, right. I've seen his turnouts. They're lame. They don't even feel like a high school gymnasium. And, you know, I mean, I've heard him lie before. They call Trump a liar. This guy said he graduated in the top of his class, and that was a lie. And that's how he ended up in politics, my friends. Fail out of college and become a politician. Maybe even you can be president one day.
People are ready. They're ready, and they know we can change it. But look, there's a lot, but we really rely on people like you. And let me tell you something. The American people have never, ever, ever let their country down, given half a chance. Never. And they've been battered by corporate America. They've been battered by this president, particularly, and the way in which he's able to continue to divide it. He appeals to the outright prejudice of some of those in that community that don't have any money, and he just appeals to their prejudice. He spews hate. We gotta stop it.
No, he doesn't spew hate. You know, actually, I'm over here like being more patriotic than I've ever been in my entire life. Being a God-fearing Christian, proud of American spirit, just got it all. And I really give credit to Trump for bringing it out of me, bringing it out of a lot of people you see in the media who are just like, hell yeah, America. Like, we're all about it. And we love our country. We love all the people of our country, no matter what color, no matter what religion. A lot of us, and I think I speak for most of us who are Trump supporters, don't give a damn about any of that stuff. We don't look at people like that. The Democrats are over there making it a thing. Like, we're not making it a thing because it's not a thing to most of us. Like, I don't look at somebody like, oh, they're a brown person. Ooh, they're a white person. Ooh, they're Chinese. Ooh, they're this, that, or that. Oh, they look Jewish. Like, they're wearing a yarmulke. Like, I don't look at people like that. I look at people just like, oh, hey, how you doing today? You know, have a conversation with them, maybe become friends. Who knows? Because you never know. Like, every person is an opportunity to meet someone new and be a friend. That is literally how I look at people. Literally how I look at people. And the Democrats are putting race as like the onslaught of like a human being interaction. Like, first, you know, ooh, okay, I'm gonna approach this person. I don't want to offend them. They are of color. How should I say? No, just be a real fucking human being. That's all you gotta do.
It's just so dangerous. Like, it could be a start of a civil war.
It gonna be the start of a civil war if you cheat in this election. I'll tell you that, because I don't see how Trump doesn't win this election in a landslide. Let me tell you, the Trump supporters that he had last time, we haven't changed our minds. We're still here. And I don't hear anybody from our side heading over to the left. I don't. However, I do see people from the Democratic Party saying, screw you guys. I've had enough of your antics. I've had enough of this fake Russia investigation and the Ukraine and this impeachment and this all of this wasting of time and American taxpayer dollars. I've had enough of just the lies. And not only that, some of these people are God-fearing. Some of these people are not far left. They're just Democrats. And they've had enough of that party. They've had enough of catering to the needs of the boo-hooers in this country. They're coming to us. So I don't see how with our numbers last time, plus our numbers this time, we're not going to win in a landslide. If we don't, there just may be a civil war, Cardi, because the Republicans might take off a few days of work and come and meet you little teeny boppers in the streets.
It makes people feel uncomfortable around different people. Nobody wants to feel targeted. Nobody wants animosity. We just want the best for us. Everybody wants the best for themselves, their future, and their safe people. I don't want to live to tell my kids, like, you have to be careful going to the store. Don't wear this certain type of clothes. Don't wear a mask. Don't wear a hoodie. Please don't get stopped. We don't want that, and I don't want to feel a certain type of hate, a certain type of animosity for a different race because I feel like they get it easier than us. I don't want to feel like that. Nobody wants to feel like that.
You know what upsets me too about this is Cardi did come from nothing. She was a stripper, okay? So she has lived that street life and worked her way up to the top. Nobody stopped her from doing that. She probably did have trials and tribulations along the way, but she just kept fighting with hard work and got successful. She got what her dream was of being successful. And she, of all people, should be telling everybody like the opportunities that they can have in this country if they just work hard. You would think she would be going in that direction. Same with LeBron James. Like, why aren't you guys talking about, like, look where I came from? I did live in the streets. I did live in a shoddy neighborhood that was scary and you had to lock your doors. Well, they lived there, but you know, the kind of neighborhood that you and I lock our doors when we go through. And I don't want to feel like I'm being offensive by saying that, but the truth of the matter is that there are neighborhoods that are dangerous and scary to drive through. And those are the kind of neighborhoods that, yeah, people get shot in. And you know what? I would never move my family there. And if my family happened to be there, I would work my ass off to get them out of there. And that is the opportunity that is given to any American citizen that wants it, can leave the ghetto. I never understood those songs of trying to get out of the ghetto. I was always like, just leave, move. I know it's not that easy for everybody, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, America gives you all the opportunity in the world. We've got programs galore to help people. You can go into the United States service and you can make good money there and support a family and travel the world and have that experience. You can go to any college. If you're poor, you can get free college or at least a reduced college. And you can definitely get loans and grants, so there's no money off the top for you to go get that education and then get a good job to be able to pay those student loans. There is opportunity all over the place in this country, and I am not going to stand idly by anymore and let the news media tell the world that we are trash, because it's not true.
Why can't we just work with each other? And
We can.
And racism always have existed, but I feel like right now there's just a lot of tension, and we need somebody to clean that. I'm just so tired of it.
Well, by the way, you know, the country's been mourning. What you're finding now is the vast majority of the American people understand what's going on. My mom used to have an expression. She said, Joey, the greatest virtue of all is courage. Because without courage, you couldn't love with abandon. And without courage, none of the other virtues would exist. It's time for some courage, and you're exercising it. You and other people of your stature, who have millions of people who look to you. You're exercising courage. It's not easy for you to do this. You're going to get a lot of flack for the kinds of things you say. But you have the courage to stand up and say, now's the time.
This was not hard for her to do. If she'd have tried to go support Trump, that would have been hard for her to do. Me having the courage to open this channel and let everybody know, look, I'm a black girl, I'm a Trump supporter, I always have been, and I don't think he's a racist. And I'm not a racist, so I don't know about you. I'm not. Are you? I'm not. I love everybody equally until they give me a reason not to. And then I don't like them equally. Brown, black, white, any kind of Hispanic, any kind of gender, trans, whatever. If you're a nice person, then you're okay with me. We can be friends. If you're not a nice person, then I don't want you around me. Equal. On all sides, okay? Equal.
By the way, we're going to have, if I get elected president, free college education.
We're going to have free college education. We're not going to raise taxes though, right, Joe? Who's going to pay for this free education? Are these teachers going to go there? They went to school and paid for their education so that they could teach. Are they going to teach now for free?
4 years of college, flat out. Anybody with a family less than 125 grand, you're going to get free education. Everybody gets free education for community college. Everybody wants to go on and become an apprentice, free.
Let me tell you about my college experience, right?
Yep.
You know, I'm from New York, so when you're in high school, or middle school, they give you a free Metro card so you could travel, for you to be able to go to your school. And of course, they gave me free lunch. When I was in college, I had to get a job because I really needed $5 every single day to be able to go from Washington Heights to Chambers Street, and then I had to feed myself. Sometimes I had to wait from 1 p.m. all the way to 9 p.m. That's my schedule to get home so I could be able to eat, because that whole time right there, I couldn't afford to go to McDonald's. I couldn't afford to go to any restaurants around Chambers Street on my break. And you had to pay for lunch, the school lunch there. So I was just starving, and I just felt so discouraged.
Right, and you know what you did? You suffered, you worked hard, you persevered, and you became successful. And that is a great learning experience for you to share with your followers. Hard work pays off. Quit asking for handouts. Go get a damn job and quit rioting in the streets. I mean, these people can't have a job. And where are your parents? If these were my kids, I swear to God, where if I saw my kids out there, man, I would be down there beating them with a shoe. I'd be grabbing them by the ear, yanking their asses into the car. Oh my goodness. I'd be so disappointed in my children if they were one of these degenerates down on the street, rioting, screaming in people's face, innocent people just trying to eat dinner's faces, like just acting a fool.
So I just feel like that is so important, like to finance students while they're in college, because they get really discouraged. And that's what people want to know. People want to know, can you provide college education, this Medicare plan, without a big chunk of taxes coming out of our check?
The way we can pay for all of this is doing practical things, like making sure that no corporation making a profit should pay less than 15% tax on their profit. None. Zero. Everybody has to pay their fair share. Thank you for your willingness to help. I promise I'll make mistakes as president, but I'll admit to the mistakes I make, and you're never going to have to wonder whether I'll keep my word. Thank you.
I would like to see.
Just check me out. I've never broken my word. Anything I've said I was going to do. Never in my life.
Well, there was one truth in there. He's going to make mistakes if he becomes president. He's going to make a lot of them. He's going to make talking mistakes, physical mistakes. He might even fall and break a hip. I don't know. He's going to make lots of mistakes. So make sure you don't vote for Biden. Make sure you vote for Trump in 2020, and let's keep this country rolling in the right direction. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.